As revealed recently, Frontier are about to start selling ships in Elite Dangerous for real-world money, and we now have some examples of the exact ships they're going to sell. Also, Frontier have now discussed how they're going to rework engineering, and additionally we get another look at Powerplay 2.0 with some more specifics and details. So let's start with the upcoming ship sales. Now, as discussed yesterday, these are going to be pre-built ships that will be available in the Elite Dangerous cash shop. You're about to buy these for the fictional currency ARCs that can be purchased for real-world money. So, on screen right now, you can see two example pre-built ships. These are ships that will be available come May. So we've got a Type 6 laser mining jump start ship. This is what the package will be called. The other one is an Alliance Chieftain AX combat jump start. Now, as you can see, the builds are fairly basic to average, I'd say. There's a few A-rated modules here and plenty of B, D and C-rated modules thrown in. So nothing too hefty there. These are fairly easily purchasable with a limited amount of credits. Where things do get a little bit tricky, perhaps for some people, is going to be the fact that they also include some basic engineering. Or otherwise, if not basic engineering, then other types of unlocks that you normally have to earn. So for example, on the mining ship is a modified mining laser. This will be a pre-engineered long-range plus incendiary rounds mining laser. And Frontier say this bypasses the need to unlock the LTT 198 permit and a subsequent technology broker recipe for this module. When it comes to the AX combat ship, you'll get some Guardian weapons actually included. So this will include the Guardian nanite torpedo pylon, as well as two small Guardian Gauss cannons with anti-Guardian resistance. Frontier say this bypasses the need to unlock the Guardian Gauss cannon from the Guardian technology broker and the subsequent trip to Ramtar to modify it with the AGZ resistance effect. So, as I spoke elsewhere, that when it comes to pay-to-win or cash shops within games, there's a lot of subjective opinions here. It's a gradient, a sliding scale. Some people are more tolerant than others about the types of things that you can purchase from shops. In my mind, this isn't too bad if Frontier have to go the cash shop direction, and yes, I do feel they probably have to go that direction because Elite Dangerous very likely does need continued funding if we want to see continued development for it. In which case, these cash shop items, these cash shop ships, are, well, not too bad in the grand scheme of things. They could be a lot worse and could offer significantly larger advantages. Whether or not Frontier go down that route later on, we'll have to see, but for now, these are pretty well balanced against giving players something that's reasonable value for money, whilst not giving players too bigger advantage. Yet there is another issue here, and that is the insurance rebuy cost. And to get an answer to that, I ventured into the forums, the official forums, to ask the community manager about it and managed to receive a reply. It turns out that any ship you buy from the ARCs shop will have a 0 credit rebuy cost. You'll be able to buy that ship completely for free as many times as you like. Every time it gets destroyed, the rebuy cost will be 0 credits. And that will include all of the originally fitted modules as well. Now the change here will be that if you do outfit and change one of the modules or any number of the modules, you'll just have to pay the rebuy cost for the modules that you changed. Essentially though, this will give you a free ship every time it gets destroyed. So yeah, that is a pretty big advantage. Clearly though, it is understandable because if Frontier are going to start selling ships, then they can't have players losing something that they paid real money for. But on the other hand, it does confirm something I've said elsewhere, that the moment a company introduces a cash shop into a game where players can buy in-game items, then that will change the fundamental nature of that game. Adaptations to that game will have to be made, and we're seeing that already with this zero-cost insurance rebuy. As I said, different people will have a different tolerance towards that. Some will be okay with it, and some not so much. So that's everything we know so far about the upcoming ship sales and the newly refurbished and newly redesigned cash shop for Elite Dangerous. Now, in other news, Frontier have discussed, well, very briefly mentioned rather, the upcoming changes to engineering. There's no date yet on when this is going to happen, but Frontier have said they are looking at rebalancing engineering to make it more approachable and more predictable. In other words, to make it more accessible and less grindy. Well, I hope less grindy. They say that some of the areas that they are investigating are reducing the number of materials required for engineering, increasing payout of engineering materials from missions, and increasing backpack capacity. They also stress that these are just some examples of the areas they're investigating, and they are not all of the areas that they're investigating. They further wanted to emphasise that as Elite Dangerous is a live service game, that there'd probably be some more iteration over time on how to improve engineering. So I think most people will agree this is very much needed. Elite Dangerous does need rebalancing, not just with engineering, but in many other areas too. But this is a really good start. Hopefully we'll hear more information on this soon. Now, the other thing Frontier are discussing is Powerplay 2. We got a bit of a summary about this last month. They're giving us a broad overview of what Powerplay 2 will be about. So I'll go into some detail now on all of this, although some of it is a repeat of what we've seen before. So if you don't want to watch that, thanks for watching all the way up to this point, and if you're still interested, here is that information. So for those of you not familiar with it, Powerplay allows players to align with galactic factions, and allows players to influence the dynamic political landscape through your own actions. The revamped version of Powerplay will simplify the entry point for new players while providing a somewhat nuanced and strategic layer for veterans. At least that's what Frontier is saying. So this balance should ensure that whether you're a trader, explorer, or combat type orientated person, your contributions should help steer the tides of power in the galaxy. So how is this all going to work? Well, you'll be able to help your chosen power by conducting various activities, and from what it seems, you'll be able to do pretty much any activity that's actually available in Elite Dangerous for the most part. This will all connect directly back to Powerplay and the influence gained for your respective powers. So one of the pillars of Powerplay 2 is the methodical expansion of territory, and we can see that on the new map here. This is going to make things a lot easier to see at a glance. Players can now influence unoccupied or rival-controlled systems through a series of strategic decisions and actions. Expansion involves fortifying existing territories, extending influence into new areas, and directly competing with other powers for control. This process is governed by various system states, which are called Exploited, Fortified, and Stronghold, each offering unique challenges and rewards, and each different system state will actually be reflected in the appearance in stations and other activities and other things going on inside each of the respective systems. Now, the transition between the different system states underscores Powerplay's depth, or so Frontier claim. Players must navigate these states wisely. They're going to have to put some focus into doing this, and whilst players can certainly go out there and do this on their own, it seems likely and perhaps preferential that players will need to collectively work together in order to get their power to expand. And now, just for reference sake, I know I've used the word faction a few times here interchangeably with powers, and I just want to clarify I'm not talking about BGS or background simulation factions here. When I say the word faction, I am talking about the power that you have applied to. So sorry for any confusion there. So turning an exploited system into a fortified system is going to require a substantial commitment to resources and strategic planning. The ultimate goal is to achieve a stronghold state here, and this means that the system becomes a bastion of your power, and that will significantly boost your influence and defensive capabilities. Now, Powerplay 2 is also going to introduce a refined reward system which would help incentivize players' involvement. Loyalty to a faction is rewarded with escalating benefits, including economic bonuses and advantages, and these rewards are tiered so that they will ensure a continued dedication to your power, which in turn will bring ever greater benefits. So to assist players in navigating all of these systems, Powerplay 2 features significant UI enhancements, and these improvements provide clear real-time information on the system's states, power conflicts, and personal contributions. And this is something that's very much missing from the game right now. The galaxy map in particular has been overhauled to offer a more intuitive visualization of power territories and influence, making strategic decisions more straightforward and informed. So you can see straight at a glance here which power is controlling which system, and this is much easier than the unusual and rather eye-aching bubbles that we see now. So a crucial aspect of Powerplay 2 is going to be the ability to undermine opposing powers. Players can engage in sabotage, espionage and direct combat to weaken the other faction's control over systems, and this dynamic not only adds a layer of depth to conflict, but also ensures that the galaxy remains a vibrant and unpredictable battleground. At least that is the claim that Frontier are putting out there. Essentially, what I think we're going to see going forward then, and this is my speculation, is you may have noticed that as the Thargoid War starts to wind down, there's been less and less Galnet articles over there on the story side of the game. And my speculation, just maybe, is that ultimately all of this is going to be replaced with player-driven story and player-driven action. Player action, in terms of the influence they provide to their powers, is going to dramatically impact the galaxy. The galaxy will be ever-changing, and I foresee there being a lot of potential stories here. Just maybe Frontier will use these to fill out Galnet and write some narrative around all of that. It could be pretty interesting, if so, for the people who actually enjoy that type of thing. So that's all the details we have so far on Ship Sales, the cash shop coming to Elite Dangerous, the improved Arcs shop that is, as well as Powerplay 2 and the revisiting of Engineers. Do let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you as always. What particular part of this really stands out to you? As always, thanks for watching all the way to the end. Very much appreciated. Do take care, and I'll catch you next time.